Hello friends, welcome to NJCF. We are learning social science of 10th standard and we have started with chapter number 4, that is Literary Heritage of India. We are talking about ancient Indian literature. In the previous videos we talked about 4 Vedas. After that we talked about Aranyakas and Vedangas. Even we talked about Ramayana and Mahabharata. Now in this video, we are going to talk about ancient Indian literature further. In that we will discuss about Buddhist literature, Gujarati literature and Dravidian languages. The earlier Buddhist literature was written in Pali. Pali is considered a Prakritic language or Middle Indo-Aryan language, and it is closely related to Sanskrit language. Most of the Buddhist literature was written in Pali language. As it is divided into 3 sections, it is known as Tripitak. It consists of Sukta Pitika, Vinay Pitika and Abhidhamma Pitika. Sukta Pitika has 10,000 sutras related to Buddha and his close associate. Vinaya Pitika is also known as Book of Discipline. It deals with the monastic rules for monks and nuns. Abhidhamma Pitika comprises the philosophy of Buddhism and it is further divided into 7 books. Besides, many other works were also composed in Buddhist literature. Gupta period was known as the golden period for the growth and development of Sanskrit poems and dramas. It is considered as one of the supreme and most outstanding time. In Gupta period, they had rich contribution to literature and science. The Sanskrit language under the Gupta period reached extraordinary heights and the era witnessed the greatest writers and poets of all time. The great writers like Kalidas, Bana, Bhavabhuti, Bharvi, Bhartarihari, Magh and many others belong to this period. Of this, Kalidas is known all over the world. His works, Kumar Sambhava, Raghuvansham, Meghdut, Abhigyan Shakuntalam and Rutusamhar are renowned for their best poetic and dramatic style. So Kalidas was a classical Sanskrit author who is often considered as India's greatest poet and playwright. His plays and poetry are primarily based on the Vedas, Ramayana, Mahabharata and Puranas. Abhigyan Shakuntalam is the most famous and is usually judged the best Indian literary effort of any period. Abhigyan Shakuntalam is completely based on the theme of love. It is a unique tale of love between King Dushyant and Shakuntala. Then Bana wrote the Kadambari and Harsha Charit, a biography of King Harsha. Here you can see the picture of Bana. He was also known as Ban Bhatt. Bana's principal works include a biography of King Harsha, the Harsha Charita, and one of the world's earliest novels, Kadambari. Other works of the period are Bhavbhuti's Uttar Ramcharit, Bharvi's Kiratarjuniyam, Vishakha Datta's Mudraraksha, Sudrak's Mruchakatikam, and Dandi's Dashkumar Charit. Bhavbhuti was also well-known poet, and his plays are considered the equal of the works of Kalidas. The subject of this work were political events, romance, comedies, and philosophy. So these are some ancient poets of India, and their contribution to literature is notable. Verses were composed in earlier form of Gujarati language. In the course of time, Gujarati language developed and many literary works were composed in it. The heritage of Gujarati literature was made prosperous by contribution of Narsi Mehta, Mirabai, Dayaram, Akho, Premchand, and others who composed beautiful verses, songs, garba, narrative poems, and chappas. We all know Narsi Mehta. He is known for his literary forms called Pad, Akhyan or Prabhatya. Prabhatya is morning devotional song. He was a devotee of Lord Krishna. Mirabai was also known for her songs of devotion to Krishna. Dayaram was a Gujarati poet of medieval Gujarati literature, and he was the last poet of the old Gujarati school. He is known in Gujarati literature for his literary form called Garbi. Akho was a medieval Gujarati poet who wrote in the tradition of the Bhakti movement. His poems were known as Chappa. Chappa means 6 stanza poems. Premchand was also known for his contribution in Hindi and Urdu language. After that, the scholars like Narmad, Navalram, Kishorlal Mashruwala, Pannalal Patel, Umashankar Joshi, Mahipatram, Ruparam, Nilkant, Govardhan Ram Tripathi, and others enriched the Gujarati literature through their work. So, Gujarati literature is also very rich. The 4 Dravidian languages, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, and Malayalam, developed their own scripts and literature. Tamil is the oldest of these with its literature belonging to early centuries of the Christian era. Here you can see Tamil literature. According to tradition, 3 literary gatherings and sangams were held at which many sages and poets recited their composition. They contained many themes like politics, war, and love. The famous works of this body of literature includes Athutu Koi, composition of 8 poems, the Tolkapiyam means grammar, and the Pathu Pattu, the 10 songs. Thiruvalluvar wrote the famous Kural, which is in verse, deals with many aspects of life and religion. The Shilpathikaram and the Mani Mekhlai are some of the most famous works of early Tamil literature. So Tamil is the oldest language and it has rich literature. So in this video we talked about ancient Indian literature. Now in the next video we will talk about medieval literature.